Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls. And I have a hamster crawling on me, which if you're actually watching this and not just playing it in the background, or if you're not visually impaired, you would have seen because there's a hamster crawling on me. It's little Booga Booga Boogle. She's going to be out of rotation here very soon because Charvy is still alive, of course. But his fur is still, he looks so sad with most of his fur gone, even though a lot of it is growing back. And Mama Squeak, of course, is still alive, but she's older, so I don't want to stress her out. She seems to be the youngest and least problem-mead of all three of them. I mean, Mama Squeak has, I didn't want her to bite my thumb. Mama Squeak has no issues, but she's older, so I don't want her to stress out. I'm going to put her back in her cage. She's being an absolute sweetheart and not hurting me and not trying to jump. So here we go. Thank you very, very much. When I pick them up, I just put my hand down so that they can crawl into my hand. And when I set them down, I just put my hand down and let them slide so that their feet get onto the ground. And then I just pull my hand away and then their front feet fall down too. So I'm not just tossing them anywhere, trying to make sure I'm still centered. Very, very cool. Ugh, my face is so marked up from my sleep mask. Unfortunately, I have to crank it so tight, just because I can't wear my dentures at night because of my sleep mask, because the way it fits, no matter which one I have, a Sim Plus, which actually showed up, the special order ones that fit me better, and the older type, which is smaller and doesn't fit as well, they knock my dentures loose and up and back into the back of my throat, and I don't want to choke to death while sleeping. So there ain't no way I'm going to be wearing my dentures while I'm sleeping at night. Oh, that just is horrible. And I've got an actual open wound in the middle of it. It's terrible. Oy vey. The bridge of your nose is so thin, and any pressure, of course, on your skin starts to die after 2 hours without blood supply. And because this is so thin and the cushion goes right on top of it, and I slept for like 5 hours, so 5 hours straight with that thing on there, oy, it's gonna be a bad thing all day. I hate that part of wearing a sleep mask. Oh, my poor face. I got social anxieties enough as it is. Going out with a thing like that on my face makes me, so willing to go out into public. Still though, I mean, life is life. God, it's above. I gotta start taking antihistamine tablets. I was trying to think, it was like, I gotta take hormone tablets, but that was all wrong. So, don't need to take hormone tablets. But maybe histamine tablets, antihistamine tablets, will help me get rid of some of this clogging up I've been doing. I mean, I hack for a long time before I go to bed, and when I wake up I hack, and it's just bloody pollen out there. Ugh, so much fun. I can't remember even what I was talking about beforehand. I think it was hamsters and stuff before my nose, I mean, because I can't remember what I was talking about beforehand. But then, as I've said before, and thank you very much, it's just what I talk about and ramble on about is just bubble sorting, just rambling, random stuff that pops up and I talk about. Some things, of course, that I think about for quite a long time. Yesterday, when I finally remembered to talk about plastic pollution and the chains, molecular chains, the polymer chains, there we are, natural polymers and synthetic polymers and how long they last. It's just that I've been waiting and trying to remember that for a long time. So sometimes I've got stuff that I want to talk about. Sometimes, like this morning, I've still got things that I wanted to talk about, but can I remember any of them? Oh, actually, part of it was, I don't want to name names or even point too much. It's just, my housemates are young. In fact, when I first crashed and burned after the death of my wife and they adopted me, they were basically just out of high school. So they're only have become 22 this year. And in fact, I don't even think she is 22 yet. So do I think that any stuff that's going on at any time is actually planned? I think anything that's happened is just because of youth. Your brain, whether you're male or female, especially if you're a guy, your brain does not set until you're almost 30. Now, if you're female, of course, your body matures faster and sets earlier, and so your brain is more set and you're more mature earlier. And that's a good thing. Thank God somebody is. But the point being still that the brain does not set and become fully mature until you're in your late 20s. So, as unpleasant as things may sometimes be, and as bad as things are, and as not good as other things are, I think it's largely because of youth. And that's as much as I'm going to say on that. I try not to do microaggressions because nobody is here to defend themselves, and I try not to be microaggressive. I am passive-aggressive as anybody else, and in fact I'm far less passive-aggressive because I live in passive-aggressive Note City. So, thumbs up. Me, if there's something that bugs me, if it's not big enough that it really interrupts my life, I just absorb it and go on, because why cause problems? Why make an issue over something? If you're just trying to get along, hey, most things that people do are not done out of malice. Most things that people do are out of ignorance. And ignorance is not a bad thing. Ignorance is just lack of knowledge. Now, if you take your ignorance and run with it and become proud of it and make ignorance into stupidity, that's different. But ignorance is, I'm ignorant of a ton of stuff. I just like to learn things all the time, and so I'm trying to chip away at the fog of war of ignorance that is life. I like learning new things. I'm always working on that. Some people don't. Some people do. Such is life. Can I remember the way that I wanted to end what I was just talking about? No, but that's okay. Because life is life. And again, thank you very, very much for coming along with me on this journey of mental exploration every single morning. It is a very good thing. I am an extroverted introvert. There is such a thing. I actually talked to my therapist about that, and he said, you are an extroverted introvert. An introvert, of course, likes being alone. An extrovert likes being around people. An extroverted introvert recharges mentally around other people in short bursts of time in small chunks. So I am an extroverted introvert. I am mostly happy being alone. When I was in the Air Force, I did not feel like I was avoiding the world, and yet what I would do was, with my Commodore 64, is I would work all week, talk with my friends, do things with them, we'd go places and do stuff, and then the weekend, I'd just sit there and play on my Commodore 64 all weekend. All just by myself, and I was happy doing that. I was playing a lot of Bard's Tale, the original Bard's Tale. At that point, I was fixated on that one, so I was quite happy just drawing my little maps on my grid paper while I played that game. And I've been that way my whole life. I'm largely happy being alone, but I like to be around other people in small chunks, in short bursts, and that's good. It's recharging, it's refilling, but I've never been one that, aside from, now I want to make that, it's that never been one. When I was younger in high school, I was the type of person that I did stage plays, and I was really into stage plays, and I did some stage plays after high school. But I was into doing stage plays, and I did public speaking and all that sort of stuff. And I had actually a t-shirt that I made up that said, "Who is Bill Robin anyway?" A black shirt with that in text on it, and I wore that while I was in high school. So I've been youthfully exuberant, but past my maturity when I was 28 years old and became a nurse's aide, and then spent the next 15 years in healthcare after my brain had finally set and matured. So that's the way that works out. I can't remember exactly what I was saying on that one, aside from the fact that, yeah, I used to do a bunch of that stuff with that self-aggrandizement and all. Now I'm a different person, but I've got to try and do that a little bit because I still want my channel to grow. I am amazed, still honestly amazed that I have achieved, I mean, this up here, this right here, my silver play button. Holy smokes. Yes, I had almost 150,000 subscribers before I finally got it, and you're supposed to get it 100,000. The fact that I got it at all is absolutely astonishing, and I thank each and every one of you. Oh my gosh. I mean, I started up my channel. I say I started up my channel, but I had really started like 3 years before, when I had done like 20 Let's Plays just by voice while my wife was alive, and then it was out of my system. I just stopped doing them and was happy not doing Let's Plays. They were all verbal, and it was horrible audio, and it wasn't really good gameplay, but I was playing Arena, and it was fun. But then I just dropped it for 3 years, and then my wife died. And that's when I started the channel for real. In December of 2014, let's see, that was March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 9 months after my wife's death, when I was desperate. Because I had not been doing anything but spiraling downward after her death. And that was terrifying. I didn't want to die, and I knew that that's where I was headed. So I jumped into my channel with both feet, and even at that, fully understanding that I was probably going to get maybe 5 subscribers if I was lucky. If I was lucky. And 4 years later, thank you all so very, very much. I do my level best to keep you entertained because hokey smokes, I am alive, and there's a reason I am alive. And it's right there on the other side of my webcam, watching this right now. Thank you very much. I am never, ever, ever going to forget that the fact that I am still alive right now is because of you, and thank you very much. Even if today is the first day you've watched any of my videos, even if today is the first day that you've even heard of me, thank you very much. My channel, people like you, are the reason I am still alive. Thank you very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. On a very small note, I had gotten a package. Oh, I opened it, so I moved it. Somebody had sent me, and I showed it on camera, a package of hamster treats. And there were 4 bars, and they had like peanut butter flavoring and a whole bunch of seeds that were caught together in these things. What I did was I broke it into 3 chunks, and then I gave each of my hamsters one of those chunks. When Boogle got hers, she just laid into it, tore it to pieces, destroyed it, and then put all of the pieces away in her various little hoards. Thumbs up for that. Mama Squeak, she did largely the same, moved hers off to a safe place and has been chewing and munching on it. Charvey's weird. I've got him one of those, somebody sent it to me, a silent wheel, and so it's got a inside where things can land. He keeps dragging the big lump into the wheel and then running with the lump in there. And I go, Charvey! So I'm always cleaning the food out of the wheel because when he runs on it, he pees and it gets gushy and you gotta clean it out. And you don't want to get your food in that. So I take the block out all the time. And every time I look over there, he's dragged it back into the wheel. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's so silly. He's a little goose. He is absolutely amazing. He's a cutie, and even though most of his fur is gone, and some of it's growing back already, so his upper back is mostly naked, but it's growing back from his shoulders and the back of his head on outward. He's losing more of it toward his belly, and it's growing back in other spots on his back, so he looks really piebald and patchwork. It's weird, but he's just absolutely active, and past that, super, super healthy. So he runs on his wheel, and in fact there's a screw that keeps the wheel part on. He runs on it so well and so much, he keeps working the little screw part off, and then the wheel, that goes clink, and then the wheel goes clunk and falls forward so it won't turn anymore. So I got to screw it all back together, and he's up in the wheel with his hand, his little paws on my hands going, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" They're so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm late. I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people in American Sign Language is what I'm counting, so I frequently lose track. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We're not good at names. I'm better than most, but I'm not wonderful. And of course, I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. I'm going to answer as many as I can. Thumbs up each one that I read. Thank you very, very much. You get me out of my head dealing with real people. It is appreciated. So let me call up my crone. And Chris Ottenreith, I am so sorry, but thank you very, very much. And Joshua Marissa, I'm getting to see your name quite a bit in the comments too. Thank you very, very much. B, greatly appreciated. Luis Martinez Jr., thank you, or Louis. I can never tell when I look at a name how exactly it's pronounced. Louise, Louis, Louis, etc., etc. But Blue Shadow, thank you very, very much. And Brian Glenn, greatly appreciated. Crystal Gengler, thank you very much. Den Simpson, greatly appreciated. Tiger Moon, thank you very, very much. Juan Antonio Ortega, thank you very, very much. Nemo Dallas, greatly appreciated. Dark Roses, I like that name, thumbs up. Sean Doyle, thumbs up and thank you. Ollie is an idiot, YT. Oh, I'm sorry, Ollie. I greatly appreciate it, thank you. And Dylan, thumbs up and thank you. Eric 19990, thank you very, very much. Looks like Cult, KHUILT, thank you very, very much. Craven Blood, thank you very much. Terciophilo, thumbs up and thank you. Ant Tall Dude 123, thumbs up. Mohammed Race, thank you very, very much. The Ghostly Gamer, spelled with a 1 instead of an L, greatly appreciated. Froxizzle, I think it is, thank you very, very much. Kira Linham, I still have to call up the rental company today. 10 o'clock is when the office opens. I don't expect them to have not destroyed and gotten rid of everything. There's always the possibility. I'll find out and report on that today. Thank you very, very much. And then last but not least, Tundra Keeper. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Especially, you get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Now all of a sudden I've run out of time and I'm late. If you can check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+. If you can donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. If you could also check out my game channel, the link's down below, that would be awesome. I need to get it monetized if I can. I do my very level best to do at least one video a day. Lately I've been failing. The heat has been knocking me out like a drug. It's just the heat. Thumbs up. But hey, if you cannot donate, or you do not donate, or if you don't like to visit game channels, I do take all good wishes. I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very, very much. And if you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. Oh, real quick, of course, if you could check out my Amazon wish list, it's got all sorts of stuff on it. Don't feel obligated, I don't feel entitled, but it's got everything from light and fluffy like hamster food and candy to heavy duty like a PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 4 VR set. So no matter where you are, there's something for everyone. Again, don't feel obligated, I don't feel entitled. I'm also partnered with HumbleBundle.com if you could check them out. I'm a paid partner. I've been paid once. I'd like to get paid again. If you could use that link and buy something, I will get paid for it. They have software, development software, ebooks, e-comics, all sorts of stuff. Again, don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled, but it would be cool. I'm going to try and make this one on time at 20 minutes, so I've got 10 seconds left. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that, my friend, is a very good thing. Am I going to make it?